Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to another WWE 2K simulation. And this one that we're going to be doing today is a very special one. And before I announce what we're doing today, even though you can clearly read it in the title below, but before I get onto it, let me ask you a question. Have you, watching this video, ever wondered what the WWE will look like in 5 to 10 years? I mean, I know I have. I mean, I can just see it now. Becky Lynch inducted into the Hall of Fame, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Pete Dunne wins the WWE Championship at Wrestlemania. Dexter Lumis is arrested on suspicion of murder because, my god, this guy has definitely murdered someone. I don't care if he's in NXT or not. Any man on this planet that is walking around with a leather glove and he's always like, has definitely killed a couple hookers. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. 10 years, 5 to 10 years from now, Cameron Grimes has died from a ketamine overdose. Even with that being said, Vince McMahon, 10 years from now, is still alive, and rumor has it he is still in charge of the day-to-day operations of the WWE. He is still booking people into the ground. And speaking of burying people, Bill Goldberg is still wrestling at the age of 62. And moving on from Goldberg to another thing that I don't want to see, WWE 2K32 has just dropped, and it's even worse than 2K20. I am disgusted. Man, I really didn't want to tell you guys that happened, but yeah, the WWE 2K franchise never recovered. Sorry, I'm just the Oracle. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the vision. So, hang on a second. I'm getting another reading. This is coming from 1 month from now. Oh, no, sorry, 1 day from now. The Velveteen Dream has been fired for being a dirty, strokey nonce. Oh my god. Okay, thank you, Oracle Powers. I'm gonna leave it there for my reading into the future of the WWE. Anyway, the point is, in today's video, we are gonna be simulating in WWE 2K Universe mode 5 years into the future. That is right, we are going all the way to 2025 to see where the WWE landscape will be in 5 years. I don't know about you, but I am very excited to see where the WWE will be in this simulation, because the last time I did a simulation with Asuka, it didn't go quite to plan. And the less said about that, the better. But the point is, with these simulation videos, you never really know what's going to happen, and you never really know where things are going to go. And so I am very excited to make this video here today and see what happens in the WWE in the next 5 years. But we have some rules that I'm going to go over real quick before we jump into this one. And those rules are essentially that since we're going to be simulating 5 years, obviously in that 5-year time span, I can't do everything completely realistic to WWE. That would take forever to do all the call-ups and everything. But I've decided at the end of every year, I'm going to be adding in different legends. And so to begin things in this simulation, we will be adding in Edge, because at the start of the simulation, it's, you know, Edge is back now. So it makes perfect sense to add in the Rated R Superstar. And I'm not going to ruin the surprise of the other legends that I'll be adding in, but essentially around the Royal Rumble time, just before the road to WrestleMania, we will be adding in other legends as well, 1 per year. And finally, before we jump into the simulation, I have also added in a bunch of current day NXT superstars who weren't in 2K20, but deserve to be in this simulation as well. People like Cameron Grimes, Karrion Kross, Indy Hartwell, Raquel Gonzalez, Dexter Lumis, people like that. And so anyway, with that intro out the way, and now that you know all the rules for this episode, let's jump into simulating 5 years into the future in WWE 2K Universe mode. And so here we are now inside WWE 2K20's Universe mode, and essentially what I've decided that we're going to do, since we're simulating 5 years, and I don't want to do every single Raw, every single Smackdown, every single NXT, every single 205 Live, it would just take way too long. We're going to do it basically by the big 5 pay-per-views: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. Throughout this video, we will essentially use these pay-per-views as pit stops or installments just to see where the Universe mode is going and check in on everyone's progress. Okay, so here we are at the first pay-per-view of this simulation, Money in the Bank, and Kofi Mania is still running wild. You truly love to see it. Kofi is still the WWE champion against Owens, DeVille versus Alexa Bliss, Joe versus Jose, Gallagher versus Tozawa, Billy and Peyton versus the Kabuki Warriors, an 8-man ladder match to see who will become Mr. Money in the Bank. You got the full club in there. You've got part of the Lucha, not the Lucha, but there's the Lucha Party. In addition to that Money in the Bank ladder match, you've also got the Smackdown tag titles on the line. The Bar versus the New Day. The Bar is still a thing in this simulation. Okay, Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. Jesus Christ, there are a lot of matches on this card. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC title. Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, and a women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which is pretty fire as well. Holy mother of God, this is a stacked card. But if you saw the Asuka simulation, you know how these simulations work by now. Let's see. Okay, Kofi Kingston retains the title at the first pay-per-view of the 5-year simulation. Alexa Bliss wins. Samoa Joe, of course, wins. Jack Gallagher loses. The Kabuki Warriors, yeah, I expected that. Who won Money in the Bank? Braun Strowman is Mr. Money in the Bank right now. The Bar win the titles. Tony Nese loses the Cruiserweight title. Shinsuke Nakamura is the IC champion. Bray Wyatt, oh no, Seth Rollins wins the Universal title. Roman Reigns beats Randy Orton, and Miss Money in the Bank is Charlotte Flair. Is anyone surprised? There's also NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, but NXT UK doesn't really count. for anything. And so we're just going to completely disregard NXT UK in this, because honestly, if this was a realistic simulation of for 5 years in the future of the WWE, is NXT UK really going to be around in 5 years? I mean, there's a lot of potential over there on that show, but let's be honest, it's probably not going to be around in 5 years. I mean, I'd be surprised. Anyway, we're here at SummerSlam. Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship. Slater versus Strowman. I wish the briefcase was on the line. That would be kind of fire. He's got kids, by the way. Tozawa versus Gallagher again for some reason. Bo Dallas and Ronda Rousey versus Grand Metalik and Dana Brooke. Okay, what? Andrade with Zelina Vega in his corner. That did not age well. We're against Apollo Crews. Humberto Carrillo is fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship at SummerSlam against Gulak. That's pretty cool. Billy and Peyton again versus the Kabuki Warriors. Riddle versus Orton. That's a banger. Ember Moon versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. That is going to steal the show. Aleister Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That might steal the show, actually. Roman versus Kofi. That might steal the show. Jesus, this is a stacked card. We are off to a hot start. And the main event is a triple threat match between Corbin, Joe, and Wyatt for the Universal title, which, by the way, that is a very interesting note. Seth Rollins was the Universal Champion last time at Money in the Bank, and now he lost the title, I guess, to Bray Wyatt because he was facing him before, and he's not in the title picture anymore. He's not even on the card. Maybe he got injured or something, which I think, if I remember correctly, you can actually check on Universe Mode. Can you not see if people are injured or not? I mean, I'd imagine this would be a feature in the game. Let's have a look at this. Where is Seth Rollins' name? Seth is there. He's not injured. He's literally just out the picture. Well, it sucks to be Seth Rollins. That guy got left off the card. Let's simulate SummerSlam. AJ Styles wins the United States Championship. Strowman loses to Heath Slater. Oh my god, he's got kids. Let's go, Heath. And the rest of the card sees Tozawa win, Bo Dallas and Ronda Rousey win, Andrade, Humberto Carrillo does not win the title, Asuka and Kyrie Sane win again, Randy Orton buries Matt Riddle, Bayley loses the SmackDown Women's Championship to Ember Moon, Becky Lynch wins, let's go, shout out to her right there, Aleister Black loses to Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns wins the WWE Championship, Kofi Mania is no more, and the main event sees Samoa Joe win the Universal Championship. On to Survivor Series. And now here we are, it is the 3rd week of November, which means it must be Survivor Series. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Hardy Boys, that's kind of a banger. Heath versus Strowman is still going on. Jinder is back with the Singh brothers to face Shelton Benjamin. Somehow that's on the main card. This is a weird Raw versus SmackDown match. Okay, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, I guess he ditched Ronda Rousey to face the New Day. Jimmy and Jay against the Good Brothers. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans in a non-title match. Kane is back against Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. Oh my god, I can already see the scene when Kane chokeslams Shinsuke one time and he wins the title. I can already see this happening. And the main event is pretty stacked. Ronda Rousey is now in the main event of Survivor Series. She's stepped up from Bo Dallas, apparently. And so, as usual, let's simulate all the matches. Yep, Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey's team wins. Kane does not win the IC title. Becky Lynch wins again. The Good Brothers retain the titles. Kofi, oh my god, Bo Dallas won the title with Curtis Axel. What? That's kind of a madness. Okay, Eric Young's team, Team TNA over there, pretty much. I mean, you got Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, and Eric Young, and then Mojo Rawley for no reason, but that's basically Team TNA, so good for them. Shelton Benjamin beats Jinder Mahal. Strowman gets his win back over Heath Slater, which I don't know why Heath beat Strowman in the first place, really. And the Hardy Boys beat Bryan and Rowan. Okay, very interesting how things are shaping up. This was also a shorter and less significant Survivor Series card. Not as many title matches, no world titles were on the line at all, which is kind of weird when you think about it. But now we move on to the first legendary ad of this episode. And so to round off the first year in this universe mode simulation, the first legend that we'll be adding is the Rated R Superstar Edge, because it just makes all the sense in the world. He returned in real life in the past year. He should be the first legend to return in this Royal Rumble era. Or not Royal Rumble era, but we're close to the Royal Rumble. It makes sense that Edge would be returning around now, like he did this year. And of course, it goes without saying, but Edge is on Monday Night Raw. Ooh, okay, this is the first NXT takeover of this simulation. NXT takeover Phoenix 2019 or 2020, I guess it is now. In this, wait, is it? Actually, yeah, because this game starts you off in 2019, so we are here in 2020 now. A pandemic is about to break out, and no one knows it yet. But nevertheless, we are here at NXT takeover Phoenix, and Pete Dunne against the Velveteen Dream for the North American title. That's very interesting. Tyler Breeze versus Cassius Ohno, Oney Lorcan versus Slapjack, Bianca Belair versus Reckoning for the NXT Women's Championship, Roderick Strong versus Ciampa, Johnny Gargano against Adam Cole, and in the main event, the NXT tag titles are on the line, the Undisputed Era against the Street Profits. Honestly, not a bad NXT takeover card, but who walks away with all the spoils? The Undisputed Era retain the titles, Adam Cole retains the NXT title, Tommaso Ciampa loses to Roderick Strong. Okay, that's a little interesting. Bianca Mia Yim won the title? Whoa, I did not expect that. I thought Bianca Belair was going to hold the title for a while here, but okay. Oni Lorcan beat Slapjack, Tyler Breeze beat Cassius Ohno, and my boy Pete lost to... I'm not having this. I'm not having this. Nope. No. I'm not having this. I refuse to have this. I refuse to sit here and allow this to happen. There we go, North American champion. Save that. Literally just blinked and suddenly the decision of the North American title match at Phoenix was reversed and Velveteen Dream has been released for being a nonce. Oh right, okay. Yeah, anyway, I guess moving on. Don't remember if I mentioned it at the start of the video as well, but I also added MVP onto the Monday Night Raw roster because obviously he is like in current day WWE, so it made sense. But the only difference is that the Hurt Business isn't a thing in this simulation, it's just MVP doing his thing on a return run as the Punisher MVP. And so, yeah, he's facing Bray Wyatt, who was the former Universal Champion. I don't know who the Universal Champion is now. Alexa versus Nikki, okay, that didn't last long. Them two are split up. This is very interesting right now. Basically, art is imitating life because Alexa Bliss has split away from Nikki Cross and The Fiend, aka Bray Wyatt, is right there. She's the #1 contender and she's Miss Money in the Bank. That is the most Charlotte Flair thing I have ever seen in my life. Just wait for it. Charlotte Flair is going to be Miss Money in the Bank, #1 contender, and she's going to win the Royal Rumble in this universe mode. I can already see it happening.
Wait for it.
So moving on, we got Nikki Cross beating Alexa Bliss, Charlotte beat Zelina, Buddy Murphy beat Matt Riddle, the New Day win the titles back against Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, Sasha Banks beats Nia Jax, and Tamina unfortunately did not win the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Rollins is back in the winning column against Bobby Roode. Very interesting. Now, how do I, is it news? I think I can check. The Royal Rumble has been won by MVP. What? What did you just say? This man beat The Fiend and then he won the Royal Rumble. Oh my god. Who won the Women's Royal Rumble match? Nia Jax. Oh no. I don't want to see her at WrestleMania. She lost to Sasha Banks and then she won the Women's Royal Rumble. What? And now here we are at NXT TakeOver New York. We've got Roderick Strong versus Jackson. Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno, Oni Lorcan versus Slapjack again. That feud has been going on a very long time. Tyler Breeze versus Pete Dunne. That low key and high key would be a banger. Both those men very talented. That would be an amazing match. Trent Seth. Oh, my boys. My boys are in the NXT tag team picture. Okay, I'm loving this. Hopefully Pete Dunne retains there, and then the boys, the big strong boys, win the titles. Okay, that's a banger. Johnny Gargano versus Ciampa versus Cole. Okay, and in the main event, Baszler versus Mia Yim. I have a feeling Baszler's winning the title. If you saw the Asuka simulation, which I did, yeah, you already know that Shayna Baszler OP, so let's simulate this. Yeah, Shayna wins the title, of course. Tommaso Ciampa is the new NXT champion. The boys did not get it done. Sad about that. But at least Pete Dunne retained the North American Championship. Slapjack beat Oni Lorcan. Okay, hopefully that's the end of their feud. Cassius Ohno lost to Keith Lee, and Roderick Strong thankfully beat this jabroni. Okay, now here we go. We are here at the end of year 1 in this 5-year simulation into the future of the WWE, and at the end of the first WrestleMania. What the hell? Sorry, forget what I was saying. I meant to say at the end of the first year, we're here at WrestleMania. Elias has a WWE title match? What? I mean, I like Elias and everything, but against Roman Reigns, that's no WrestleMania match. That's a SmackDown squish. Anyway, oh, that's... What? A 4-way tornado tag. The New Day against the Bar, against the Hardy Boys, against Bryan and Rowan. Actually, that could be a banger. I thought it was 4v4. I was like, wait, what? No, that'd be a banger, actually. Alicia Fox versus Sarah Logan. And Liv Morgan apparently just isn't there either. Okay, whatever. Nia Jax versus Lacey Evans. I'm not even gonna lie to you, this match would be an absolute stinker of a match. It'd be a rotter. What the hell? And by the way, wasn't Becky Lynch the Raw Women's Champion? Are you telling me Lacey beat her at some point? No, that's bullshit. It's okay, Becky, you'll be back in the picture soon, but Nia Jax is the Royal Rumble winner, so I'm sure she's gonna win the title there. There's this match again. Sasha versus Ronda would be a banger at WrestleMania. The War Raiders against Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, that's good. Andrade versus Kane. Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura, okay. Finn Balor versus Aleister Black. Hopefully that'd be Demon Finn Balor in real life. Drew McIntyre versus MVP for the Universal title. Yeah, I guess that Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Well, okay, that's a banger. A kit in the main event of WrestleMania. Akira Tozawa versus Tony Nese. What? Huh? Okay, whatever. Apparently the WWE Championship, the richest prize in sports entertainment. That's not on this WrestleMania card at all, but we've got to make time for Alicia Fox and Sarah Logan, so... Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and simulate all these Huh? Wow, Elias is the new WWE champion. WrestleMania off to a hot start right here. The New Day won the Smackdown Women's Championship. Tag team champ. Oh my god. What is wrong with me? I can't read today. Okay. Alicia Fox wins at WrestleMania. Nia Jax, of course, wins that match. Peyton and Billy get their WrestleMania moment. Love to see that. Ronda Rousey beats Sasha. Eric and Ivar win the Raw Tag Team Championships, I think. They won them. Andrade beats Kane. You love to see that. Ali loses to Shinsuke. Finn Balor retains the IC title. MVP does not capitalize on his Royal Rumble win. McIntyre is still the world champion. AJ Styles retains the United States title. And Akira Tozawa wins the main event of WrestleMania at the end of year 1. Wow. Low-key, that's kind of fire. I kind of want to see Tozawa get that for himself. Good guy, Tozawa. By the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, but at the end of like every year, like the night after WrestleMania, obviously there's normally NXT call-ups and things, so I kind of want to mirror that in this universe mode as well, just so the people who are on NXT right now are not on NXT for the whole 5-year span, because that wouldn't make any sense. And so right now, we're going to go into the NXT roster and call some people up the night after WrestleMania, and then we'll do this at the end of every year as well, along with the legend stuff. But the question is, at the end of year 1, who gets the call-up? I'm thinking, I'm thinking we call up Karrion Kross and Keith Lee, you know, yeah. And how is Keith Lee a 78 overall right now? I'm not even going to touch it, it's a simulation, not going to mess with it, we're just going to call him up to main roster. And he can go to Monday Night Raw, okay. And as far as Karrion Kross is concerned, he can go to Smackdown Live. Jesus Christ, every time I see this Kurt Angle model, I'm just disgusted at what they tried to pull. What the hell? Ooh, we've got Kushida in NXT as well. You know what, we'll save him for year 2, he can get a call up in a year. You know what would make sense? Mia Yim going up to main roster on Raw as well. If Keith Lee is going there, then of course Mia Yim is going there as well. It just makes sense. And so there we have it. Mia Yim, Karrion Kross, and Keith Lee have been called up at the end of year 1, along with Edge also joining the roster as a legend. And so yeah, on to year 2. And so now here we are at the beginning of year 2 at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view once again, where the Good Brothers are taking on Eric and Ivar for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Peyton and Billy against Asuka and Kyrie, saying this feud has been going on for 1 calendar year. Will it stop? Oh my god, the Iconics against the Kabuki Warriors is genuinely the new Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Ooh, this is a stacked women's Money in the Bank ladder match right here, but one thing that kind of confuses me, why is Charlotte Flair in this match again? She is Miss Money in the Bank. Actually, wait a second, Charlotte never even cashed in, so she's just decided to enter into the match again. If she wins for a 2nd year in a row and still doesn't cash in, I'm gonna be pissed. Hold on a second, I've got to check. We gotta do this annually, the Charlotte Flair Money in the Bank check. There is surely no way that Charlotte Flair is still... She genuinely lost out on the Money in the Bank contract. She just didn't cash it in. What? I mean, okay, I guess Charlotte, if you want to flex and win the match again, sure. I mean, you are the queen after all, but I'm kind of rooting for Sonya Deville in this match, or Liv Morgan, so... Anyway, Riddle versus Buddy Murphy again. The Authors of Pain have returned against the Usos. Robert Roode against Eric Young in a TNA versus TNA match. Andrade versus Kane. Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns against Elias. And the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men. And again, this is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and Braun Strowman is currently the men's Money in the Bank contract holder, and he was still holding the contract when I just checked a minute ago. So also for some reason, Braun Strowman has not cashed in his Money in the Bank contract either, yet he is here for a title match, so it worked out for him, it didn't work out for Charlotte. And finally, before we simulate these matches, Roman Reigns versus Elias is not for the WWE title, but more importantly, our boy Keith Lee just called up to main roster, and this guy is already in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You love to see it. You truly love to see it. I hope Keith Lee can get it done. That'd be big for him, just coming up from NXT. But anyway, it is time to simulate. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows retain the titles. But moving past that, Peyton and Billy have lost to the Kabuki Warriors again. It's as if there's only 2 women's tag teams in this universe mode. Alicia Fox has beaten Sarah Logan. Shelton Benjamin beats Apollo Crews. Mickie James is Miss Money in the Bank now. I'm just going to turn these up and hope that the AI goes ahead and cashes in. Because remember, this is just a simulation. I'm not allowed to jump in and, you know, cash in the Money in the Bank myself. I'm just hoping that they'll do it themselves. But anyway, that's not important right now. Let's move through this card again. Mickie James and Miss Money in the Bank. Buddy Murphy, the Usos beat the Authors of Pain, Eric Young beat Robert Roode, Andrade beat Kane again, Braun Strowman lost in his championship match against Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns pins the WWE champion, and Mr. Money in the Bank is Kalisto. Onto SummerSlam. And now here we are at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Andrade has managed to land himself a match against Finn Balor for the IC title. Good for Andrade. Charlotte Flair against Mickie James in a former Money in the Bank holder against the current Money in the Bank holder. Otis and Tucker are back in tag team action against the former SmackDown tag team champions. Dana Brooke is taking on Nia Jax. I can already tell how that's gonna go. How is that a SummerSlam match, by the way? Where is Becky Lynch? Anyway, the Raw tag team title match there. Braun Strowman and Ember Moon against Kurt Hawkins and Sasha Banks. Okay, whatever. Drew Gulak against the WrestleMania main event or Akira Tozawa. I love this. Like, man like Akira, dude. Bobby Lashley is back to face Cedric Alexander. The Hurt Business is clashing before the Hurt Business was even a thing. Samoa Joe against Kalisto for the title. What? Wait a second. No way. Did Kalisto cash in the... Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Please tell me that Kalisto cashed in the Money in the Bank. He did! He cashed it in! Oh my god, Kalisto is the Universal Champion. He cashed in the briefcase, finally! I knew it wasn't broken. I knew they could cash in, so Charlotte Flair and Braun Strowman were just like, fuck it, I don't care. Oh my god. Mickie James also cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase. I guess it's because I changed the sliders a little bit as well. She is now the SmackDown Women's Champion, but she's not defending it against Charlotte. It's just a non-title match, so okay. We've also got Daniel Bryan and Rowan against the Hardy Boys again. Kofi Kingston is back for the WWE Championship against Elias at SummerSlam. AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States title, and the main event is a normal triple threat between McIntyre, Rollins, and Wyatt, but Drew McIntyre, I think he's still the Universal Champion. I guess that's just another glitch that this game has. For some reason, he's a champion, but it's not a championship main event. Whatever. Rollins wins, but it doesn't matter. And the rest of you winners for SummerSlam are AJ Styles, Elias, Kofi Mania is back. He wins the title for the second time. I mean, I don't know about you, but if Kofi ends up winning back the WWE Championship within the next 2 years, I am totally here for all of that. I am here for Kofi Mania to come back, so that's a good sign. Anyway, Rowan and Bryan win their match. Kalisto retains the Universal Championship. You love to see it. Bobby Lashley wins his match. Akira Tozawa is still marching on that WrestleMania main event. A legend right there. Former Mr. Money in the Bank Braun Strowman picks up a win in his match. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are still Raw Tag Team Champions. Dana Brooke beat Nia Jax. Wow. Okay, that's mad. The Heavy Machinery win their tag match. Sorry, I'm so flustered from the fact that Nia Jax got pinned by Dana Brooke. What? If this was a championship match, Mickie James would have retained her title, and Andrade wins the IC title to end SummerSlam Year 2. Now we're here at Survivor Series in Year 2, where Ali was fighting for the IC title, but Andrade retains the title. In the SmackDown vs. Raw match, this is just a clusterfuck. Why is Akam on his own now? Why is Lindsay I don't know, whatever, I don't care. Anyway, Billy and Peyton, finally there's some other women's tag teams. Oh my god, I saw Billy and Peyton and I was like, where is the Kabuki Warriors? But finally, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose have decided to tag team again, but Billy and Peyton lost against them anyway. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson's long Raw tag title reign continues. I think they've been champions for like a year now at this point. Seth Rollins is back as the Universal Champion, and Kalisto's reign ends at like 3 months long. Not bad for him, to be fair. That's pretty long. The New Day have won the SmackDown Tag Team titles again. Kofi Kingston retains the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens. Drew McIntyre loses against Braun Strowman in a non-title match, and Mickie James, the SmackDown Women's Champion, wins in the Survivor Series main event. Not a bad Survivor Series card. Now we move on to the second legendary ad of the episode. And so as we head towards the end of the second year of this universe mode simulation, the second legend I will be adding in reluctantly, may I add, and that's not just normal reluctantly, that's reluctantly, bold, italic, underline. And the reason I'm adding in Bill Goldberg is because I was like, okay, we need legends that realistically could come back. We can't just add in like Randy Savage in the middle of this or anything, because that doesn't make any sense. But Goldberg, he's coming back right now in real life. It makes sense that he could probably come back in a couple of years, because apparently Goldberg never goes away, the same as The Undertaker. And so once again, very reluctantly, Bill Goldberg is the second legend we'll be adding heading towards the end of Year 2 in this simulation. Goldberg is back. Yay. You know what? No, I'm not adding him to Monday Night Raw. He's going to be on SmackDown Live because Edge is already on Monday Night Raw still. And for some reason, Edge has done nothing throughout this entire year. But as you can see, we are now here at NXT TakeOver Phoenix 2021, this would be. And Oney Lorcan is taking on Cassius Ohno. And you know what? Just to save a little bit of time, we're going to sim straight away. Oney Lorcan beats Cassius Ohno. Tyler Breeze wins the North American title from Pete Dunne. That right there is not what I wanted to see, but anyway, Roderick Strong beats Tommaso Ciampa again. Somehow this match is still going on. It's been going on for months now. Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley, that's a new match for the NXT Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley wins the title. That's pretty cool. Whoa. I rarely get speechless, like real speechless in a video, but I just looked at Dexter Lumis dead in the eyes and I literally stopped speaking. Wow. And this jabroni Jackson Riker is still picking up wins on NXT. Honestly, I should just release him along with Velveteen Dream. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. Like, I lost control of my PS5 controller, but I've got it back now. It must have been a hacker or something. So Dexter Lumis by disqualification. He won that match. Anyway, good for Dexter Lumis. Adam Cole lost the NXT Championship to Johnny Gargano, who now has Candice LeRae in his corner, which is nice to see. And Trent Seven and Tyler Bate do not win the NXT Tag Team titles in the main event of NXT TakeOver Phoenix 2021. For some reason, it took this young up-and-comer, the Rated R Superstar Edge, a little bit to get his feet on main roster, but you know, the kid's he's coming up. He's facing another kid, MVP. That's pretty cool to see. The men's Royal Rumble match is the second match on the card this year. Wait, does that mean that the women's Royal Rumble is main eventing this year? Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully Nia Jax doesn't win it again. Speaking of Nia Jax, here she is in a rematch against Dana Brooke, trying to win back her Raw Women's Championship. What happened to my... What? What happened to my iconic? Oh my god. Listen, I know I was saying earlier in the simulation that I wanted the Peyton and Billy versus the Kabuki Warriors thing to slow down because it was going on for way too long, but I didn't mean split up. I didn't mean literally split up both of the teams. I meant split up the feud. Oh my god, they both split up. This is insane. And for some reason, Paige has decided to take the corner of Asuka. To be honest, that's what I do. I love Kyrie Sane, but Asuka's better. Anyway, that shocking revelation aside, Nikki and Charlotte against Sonya and Mandy. Okay, whatever. Ali versus Andrade. It's a fatal four-way for the Universal title. This is a brawlic match right there. That would be insane. Samoa Joe versus Constable Corbin and the Women's Royal Rumble match. Let's go. Things are getting wild right now. Edge finally wins a match against MVP. We'll see who won the Royal Rumble matches in a second. Nia Jax wins back the Raw Women's Championship. Billy beats Peyton. Asuka beats Kyrie. Nikki and Charlotte win. Andrade retains the title. Drew McIntyre retains the Universal title. And Samoa Joe beats Baron Corbin. Who won the Royal Rumble match? Ronda Rousey. Alright, damn. And Samoa Joe wins the Royal Rumble. Okay, so Samoa Joe and Ronda Rousey. I like them a lot better than year one's winners. I mean, not that I'm not a fan of Nia Jax, but yeah. So now we are here at the second year NXT TakeOver New York. Only Lorcan taking on Tyler Breeze. Pete Dunne is no longer in the picture, but Lorcan kind of deserves it. He beat Slapjack in that feud like a year ago. He deserves a title match at this point. Dakota Kai is back to face Bianca Belair. Mark Andrews has jumped over from NXT UK to face Cassius Ohno. Shayna Baszler versus Candice LeRae. Tony versus Rhea again. This triple threat. Roderick Strong. Oh, come on, man. When are Tyler and Trent gonna win those titles? It's been forever now. Johnny Gargano retains the title. Tony and Rhea wins. Candice LeRae beats Shayna Baszler. I know I mentioned this earlier, but when I was talking about the Asuka simulation, these two people were running riot in the Asuka simulation from before, so that's kind of wild to see. I guess Candice and Shayna are just the OP duo in NXT Women's Division. Cassius Ohno beats Mark Andrews. Dakota Kai beats Bianca Belair. And only Lorcan does not pick up the title against Tyler Breeze. So at WrestleMania Year 2, Seth Rollins defeats Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Ivar versus Eric? What? Even the War Raiders split up as well? Every tag team in this universe mode has split up at this point, besides Sonya and Mandy, funnily enough. Zelina Vega is on WrestleMania again. Ember Moon beats her though. Lacey versus Alicia. Okay, Jesus Christ, this is a bit of a stinker. Did I literally just say 30 seconds ago? I don't believe it. Every tag team in this universe mode has split up. Okay, Charlotte versus Apollo. Apparently that's WrestleMania worthy. Charlotte versus Mickie. Mickie wins again, teaching the young gun a lesson. Akira Tozawa, Mr. WrestleMania main event. Not in the main event this year. Robert Roode picks up the US title from Titus O'Neil. I don't even know when Titus O'Neil won the title. R-Truth and Carmella. Andrade retains the title. Zelina Vega, not in his corner this time. Does anyone know what happened to Zelina Vega? Well, actually, I can't say that due to recent events. We know what happened to Zelina Vega. Wow, Mr. Royal Rumble Samoa Joe has won the Universal Championship from Drew McIntyre. Kofi has lost the title at Kofi Mania to Kevin Owens. And in the main event of WrestleMania, Natalya, Naomi, and Ronda Rousey wins the Raw Women's Championship. I have no idea what happened to Becky Lynch, but Ronda wins at the end of year 2. And now, due to the fact that we're entering into year 3 of this universe mode simulation, we have got to call up some more NXT superstars. So first things first, the first NXT call-up in year 3 is none other than Shotzi Blackheart. The second NXT call-up is going to be none other than Tegan Knox, the Welsh Wizard. And this one right here is a big one because none other than Kushida is making his way to Monday night. But moving swiftly on from those NXT call-ups to the first pay-per-view of year 3, Money in the Bank, once again, where Kevin Owens has retained the WWE Championship against Kofi Kingston. Mr. WrestleMania main event himself, Akira Tozawa, has retained the Cruiserweight Championship. Robert Roode has retained the United States Championship. Sonya Deville beats Mandy Rose in their split-up feud. And Asuka is is Miss Money in the Bank. Ooh, this has potential to be very interesting, and for some reason Charlotte Flair, by the way, is in Money in the Bank again. She is so angry that she didn't cash in the first year that she is looking for redemption. But you snooze, you lose, Charlotte. Asuka is Miss Money in the Bank right now, and this is a very interesting little path. She splits off from Kyrie, Sane, and now she's back in the title picture. And didn't she win Money in the Bank this year? I don't know, it's been such a weird long year, but I'm pretty sure Asuka won Money in the Bank in real life this year. Anyway, Bo Dallas and Kurt Saxon win this tag team match. Ruby Riott loses to Naomi, you'll love to see it. Jimmy and Jay lose. Oh my god, Tyler Breeze is now the NXT North American champion and the tag team champion. Wow. Samoa Joe retains the Universal Championship. Becky Lynch is back in the picture and she loses to Ronda Rousey. You guarantee that was match of the night right there. No doubt about it. My bias is not showing. Oh my god. Goldberg, the legend that is Goldberg, lost to Karrion Kross. That is huge. I cannot believe that. The main event can't possibly top this. Yes, it can. Ivar is Mr. Money in the Bank. Wow. Okay. Things are getting out of hand here in year 3. Moving on to SummerSlam. R-Truth and Carmella win their mixed tag team match. For some reason, Mia Yim is teaming with Grand Metalik. I don't know why. Tyler Breeze is still on a roll. Billy... What the... Are you trying to tell me that Billy and Peyton had a random one-on-one exhibition match and then they're back together and Natalya is teaming with Miss Money in the Bank for some reason, and Asuka and Kyrie Sane are also back together? Bobby Lashley does not win the United States Championship. Dolph Ziggler is back. This is the first time we're seeing him on a pay-per-view. He beats the former WWE champion Elias. Ember Moon loses the SmackDown Women's Championship to, of course, Charlotte Flair. Lars Sullivan loses to Andrade. You'll love to see that. Beat down that jabroni. Buddy Murphy wins the WWE Championship against Kofi Kingston. Whoa, that is huge right there. Okay, Buddy Murphy, man-like. Becky Lynch is back on top. Yes, come on, Becky. Once again, the Raw Women's Champion after dethroning Ronda Rousey. Randy Orton loses to Roman Reigns in a SummerSlam rematch, and Seth Rollins once again wins the Universal Championship. How many times has this guy won the title now? It's going to be at least like 6. And for some reason, as part of his WrestleMania stats, it says that he's got no main event appearances, but we all remember the infamous main event Seth Rollins appearance at WrestleMania. So in my opinion, that counts as a main event for him, to be honest. But we move on now here in year 3 to Survivor Series weekend, where Braun Strowman has lost clean to Baron Corbin. Jinder Mahal is back to get a win over Apollo Crews. Okay. Zelina Vega is back as well with Andrade to beat Tamina and Nia Jax duo. There's this match which is actually, it makes more sense than it has in previous years, so fair enough, but still Lindsay Dorado beat AJ Styles, which will never happen. Next, Titus O'Neil has retained the United States Championship against Mojo Rawley. Shinsuke Nakamura has beat Aleister Black. Bray Wyatt loses against Seth Rollins, so he retains the title. Edge beats MVP in another match, which this feud has been going on all year. But anyway, I digress, and in the main event of Survivor Series, our girl Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Championship, gets it done again. I'm sure you kind of get the gist of it now, but of course we have come to the end of year 3 in this universe mode simulation, which means it is time to add in another legend. And after a historic return to the UFC and many years away from the WWE, none other than the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar is back to reign his reign of terror. But moving on from Oney Lorcan's championship winning victory, Pete Dunne has lost to Slapjack. Come on, bruh. Come on. There ain't a chance in hell that your boy Slapjack would beat Pete Dunne. That's a lie. Rhea Ripley beats Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler beats Candice LeRae. For some reason, this match is still going on. I don't know why this feud is still going. I think Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae in this universe mode simulation are just there to remind me of the Asuka simulation and everything they did to me there. But anyway, moving on from the nightmare and these nightmares to Tommaso Ciampa beating Adam Cole with no title on the line. Johnny Gargano loses the NXT Championship to Roderick Strong. I don't know if I'd exactly say that was a massive upset, but it kind of is in a way, so that's kind of insane. And Indy Hartwell and Raquel Gonzalez are in the main event of TakeOver finally. Woman like Indy Hartwell putting on an impressive performance, I would imagine, against Raquel Gonzalez. It's nice to see these people finally showing up on takeovers. It took them a couple of years of being in NXT, but they are finally here. And Indy Hartwell, with this win in the main event, may have just earned herself a call-up at the end of the year. I don't know, we'll see. But before we get to any NXT call-ups, we are here once again at the Royal Rumble, and Randy Orton is facing Buddy Murphy for the title. Watch how Randy Orton wins this title right here. Yep, of course. Oh, who's surprised? Well, sorry, Buddy Murphy, you held the title for like 2.5 months, but anyway, Cedric Alexander beats Robert Roode. Titus O'Neil retains the title again. Kane beats Chad Gable, poor Shorty G. The men's Royal Rumble, we'll find out in a second. Asuka beats Sonya Deville, who I think she still missed Money in the Bank. Wait a second, wait, what? Asuka's no longer missed Money in the Bank. Did she cash in and fail against Charlotte? Oh no, that Reddit must have been livid. Holy mother of God. Imagine in real life if Asuka was missed Money in the Bank, she went to cash it in on Charlotte and she lost. Anyway, I don't know what happened to Asuka, but that's very unfortunate that she couldn't cash in successfully. But nevertheless, Asuka goes ahead and beats Sonya Deville there with Paige in her corner. Zack Ryder, the Major Brothers, beat the Usos. Kofi Kingston beats Dolph Ziggler. Bray Wyatt once again loses in his Universal Championship run or conquest or whatever. And the winners of the Royal Rumble match, let's go ahead. Oh! That's quite a nice surprise. Tegan Knox has won the Royal Rumble. She literally got called up like a year ago, and she is headed to the main event at WrestleMania. Let's go. Okay, Tegan, I see you. And who won the men's... Not this guy again. Why? Why? Look at this. Indy Hartwell is once again on the cover of the pay-per-view, and Roderick Strong retains the NXT Championship. Let's go, Trent and Tyler. The Big Strong Boys have finally won the NXT Tag Team Championships after chasing them for like a year now. My god. Oney Lorcan retains his title. Candice LeRae versus Shayna again, of course. Bianca Belair wins the NXT Women's Championship. You love to see that. Adam Cole goes ahead and beats Tommaso Ciampa. And Indy Hartwell once again wins in the main event of NXT TakeOver. Let's go. That's impressive. And as year 3 winds to a close here for year 3 WrestleMania, Roman Reigns beats Buddy Murphy. Poor Buddy Murphy was WWE Champion not long ago, and now he's just losing. But I guess a main event match or a WrestleMania match against Roman isn't that bad. But anyway, Titus O'Neil beats Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Natalya is the Raw Women's Champion somehow. Jinder Mahal beats Aleister Black. Okay, that's not realistic at all. Kofi Kingston in... Oh, that's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Okay, Kofi Mania is kind of bad. I mean, to be fair, this is at the end of year 3 in this universe mode simulation right now. Kofi may have very well retired in 3 years. He's getting up there in age. He looks hella young, but he is getting up there in age, so he might have retired in 3 years. We don't know. This could still be a pretty good sign for the future. And Shotzi Blackheart, she loses, but she's on the main event card of WrestleMania. That's pretty big. This is what I love to see, mate. NXT call-ups are shining, but they lose to Alexa Bliss, so you win some, you lose some. Anyway, Fandango and Tyler Breeze are still tag team champions. Where's Akira Tozawa? I don't care about you two, to be honest. Whatever. Kane does not win the IC title. How is Kane still going? I think one thing I will add in future simulations is the idea of people retiring, because there's no way Kane's still going to be wrestling in 3 years. He doesn't even wrestle now. For this simulation, Kane, you're safe. You can keep going, but if you win a title, I'm releasing you. Anyway, Becky Lynch beats Sasha Banks, so you know that was a banger of a match. Seth Rollins beats Bray Wyatt in a no-holds-barred match. Braun Strowman does not go ahead and beat Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is the Universal Champion. And in the main event, Elias is again a WWE Champion. Wow, Elias really is main event material. This guy has won the WWE Championship twice now, and that is a shocking way to end year 3. Wait a second, I literally just realized, where the hell is Tegan Knox? Tegan won the Royal Rumble and she didn't get a championship match at WrestleMania. Hang on a second, there's got to be a reason for this. Maybe she got injured on the road to WrestleMania or something, I don't know. As far as I can see, literally nothing happened to her. She's 33rd in the power rankings, and she's just actually a huge mystery. I have no idea what happened to Tegan Knox. It says she won the Royal Rumble, but she has not had an opportunity at the title. Oh, okay. But moving on from that very depressing note about Tegan, it is time for more NXT call-ups, and you already know, after her impressive performance in those main events, Indy Hartwell is getting called up to main roster. She wins 2 main events against a beast like Raquel Gonzalez. She's going up. And you know what? Indy Hartwell strikes me as more of a Raw superstar, so she's going to Monday Night. And Indy Hartwell will not be the only one moving up to main roster, because Dakota Kai is also heading to Smackdown. And to top off all of the NXT call-ups for the 4th year here in this universe mode simulation, Damian Priest is heading to Monday Night Raw. Because here we are to begin year 4, back at Money in the Bank, and Kyrie Sane wins the Money in the Bank contract this year. First it was Asuka, and now it's Kyrie. Hopefully the other half of the Kabuki Warriors has better luck at cashing in the briefcase. Although as much as it pains me to say, if Asuka couldn't get it cashed in successfully, I don't think Kyrie can, especially if Charlotte is champion, but we'll see. Elsewhere on this Money in the Bank card to start off year 4, Roman Reigns beats Buddy Murphy again. Buddy Murphy has had no luck since losing the WWE Championship to Randy Orton. Jinder Mahal loses to Aleister Black. You love to see that. Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys beat Heavy Machinery. Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. Charlotte just keeps teaming with the most random people. Shotzi Blackheart again loses to Alexa Bliss. Damn it. The Revival, who are still here, I completely forgot about them. They lose to the Usos. Elias retains his title against Dolph Ziggler. That was a stinker of a match, I can just tell. Mojo Rawley beats AJ Styles, which I guess, I mean, at this point, AJ Styles is like 47 years old, so he probably would have retired. If he hasn't retired, he's putting over young talent, so I get it. Kinda makes sense to me. Sheamus and Cesaro have beaten Bryan and Rowan. Baron Corbin has retained the Universal Championship, and The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank once again in his career. And shout out to Keith Lee as well, another NXT call-up right there, doing his thing, still in the Money in the Bank season. Okay, now here we are at Year 4 SummerSlam, where this video, I'm getting tired now. It has been a long simulation here. There's a lot of stuff happening, but Andrade has retained the IC title. There's still no sign of a character Tozawa in the Cruiserweight scene, so I don't care. Luke Gallows and Maurice. The Miz? What? I mean, to be honest, I can never see this happening in real life, but maybe Miz and Maurice got divorced, because this is Year 4 now. This is 4 years into the future. So maybe Miz and Maurice got divorced because she had an affair with Luke Gallows. Oh my god, this is insane. Wow, okay, that's nuts. I can't believe that just happened. Humberto Carrillo lost against Botch Cara. Akira Tozawa is back and he lost against this pedophile. Bobby Lashley wins the United States Championship against Titus O'Neil. Dolph Ziggler is the WWE Champion for the first time in his career, I think. He's only been World Champion before, if I'm correctly remembering that. Bray Wyatt wins the Universal Championship. Dash Wilder goes ahead and wins for the Revival. Charlotte Flair wins the Smackdown Women's Championship. Again, she has been champion so much throughout this simulation. Jesus Christ. Sheamus and Cesaro win their match. Roman Reigns beats Randy Orton, and the main event, Becky Lynch does it again, retaining the Raw Women's Championship. Let's go, Becky. Oh my god, this isn't what I wanted to see to open up Survivor Series Year 4. Becky Lynch has lost the Raw Women's Championship, but it's to Sasha Banks, so I'm willing to accept that happening. Anyway, there's always these weird SmackDown versus Raw match. I don't even know what they are. They never make any sense. Anyway, Tamina has beaten Zelina Vega. Sami Zayn is back on the card. It's been a while since we've seen him. He beats Cedric Alexander. Maurice is for some reason back in I don't even know what word I was trying to say. Competition? Anyway, Maurice is back in competition now after her divorce to Mike The Miz and her affair with Luke Gallows, apparently. She is on the winning column. Speaking of The Miz, he wins the United States Championship. And to be honest, my brain is kind of turning to mush now because I've been recording this simulation for so long, but I swear The Miz was Mr. Money in the Bank, wasn't he? I mean, there's always the chance that he's the United States Champion and Mr. Money in the Bank, but he's literally just the United... Did he cash it in for the US title? I feel like that's something that I can see The Miz actually doing sometime as well. He's cashed it in for a mid-card title. He is no longer Mr. Money in the Bank. Okay. And Jesus Christ, Breezango are still the Raw Tag Team Champions. These guys have been champions for ages. Kyrie Sane has suffered the same fate as Asuka. She tried to cash in on Charlotte and... you don't beat Charlotte. No, you don't. Oh my god, just to put things into perspective of how ridiculous it is, she's held the title 5 times and has held the title for a day's combined almost 2 years. Hang on a second, I gotta see Tyler Breeze and how long they've held the Raw Tag Team Championships real quick, because I already know this number's gonna be ridiculous. Let me see this. 2 reigns, and they've held it for a combined 539 days. Wow. But anyway, I got sidetracked there for a second. The Miz wins the United States Championship. I guess he cashed in. Samoa Joe loses against Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. Dolph Ziggler retains the WWE Championship, and our girl Charlotte Flair wins the main event of Survivor Series. Because of course she does. Anyway, now we are moving into the end of Year 4, or towards the end of Year 4, Road to WrestleMania Year 4, which means it is time once again to add in another legend onto the roster. Interestingly enough, by the way, we've so far added in Edge, Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar, and none of them have really made that much of an impact. I mean, Goldberg put over Karrion Kross, Edge had a little feud with MVP, and Brock Lesnar has not been seen yet. And so the penultimate legend that we will be adding into this universe mode simulation is none other than Rabadoo John Cena. Now here we are again on the road to WrestleMania. This time in Year 4, we are here at NXT TakeOver Phoenix again, where Roderick Strong has retained the NXT Championship. Tyler Breeze wins back the North American Championship from Oni Locke, and I forgot that he even lost it, to be honest. Tyler Breeze has been so dominant. But anyway, Pete Dunne, some reason he's still in this feud against Shane Thorne, my god. Or I mean in this feud against Slapjack, sorry about that, slip of the tongue, I don't know who Shane Thorne is. Io Shirai is finally on a TakeOver card. I forgot she was even in NXT, but she has lost to Shayna Baszler anyway, so, you know, death, taxes, and Shayna wins. Tommaso Ciampa beats Adam Cole. Karrion Kross is still in NXT for some reason. I don't even understand why Karrion Kross has gone back to NXT. This guy was on main roster, he beat Goldberg, and he was like, I've already accomplished everything I need to accomplish. I'm going back. And so whatever, he's defeated this creepy bastard Dexter Lumis, so good for you, Karrion Kross, I guess. And Toni Storm has beaten Candice LeRae. And here we are once again at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, moving on from NXT TakeOver. Dolph Ziggler retains the WWE Championship. MVP beats Ivar, who I think was Mr. Money in the Bank. Actually, no, wait, I'm confused. Ivar wasn't Mr. Money in the Bank, it was The Miz. Or didn't Ivar win Mr. Money in the Bank? What? I've genuinely simulated so many years in Universe Mode today that my brain is just blending everything together. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I thought Ivar was Mr. Money in the Bank anyway. He loses to MVP regardless of what he is. Women's Royal Rumble, we'll check that winner in a second. Andrade loses to Apollo Crews. Akira Tozawa is back in the Cruiserweight picture. This guy's trying to get back to the main event. Usos beat Authors of Pain. Rey Mysterio loses to The Miz again. Daniel Bryan and Rowan beat the New Day. Seth Rollins beats Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. And the winners of the Royal Rumble... I mean, I'm not completely against the idea of Karrion Kross winning the Royal Rumble match, but this guy, he beat Goldberg, he disappeared for a few months, then he went back to NXT to be that creepy murder, many hookers in his basement bastard Dexter Lumis. He beats him, wins the Royal Rumble, and now he's heading to WrestleMania. Okay, who won the Women's Royal Rumble? This makes even less sense. I mean, have we ever thought about that? A superstar who just likes winning Royal Rumble for the sport of it all. They don't actually care about the championship or WrestleMania. They don't even show up. They just like winning the Royal Rumble. Maybe that's Tegan Knox's role. I mean, to be honest, I can see WWE doing a gimmick like that. They've done worse things. Here we are once again at the final weekend of year 4 here. Io Shirai loses to Shayna Baszler again in New York. Toni Storm loses the championship to Candice LeRae. Slapjack loses to Kasia Sono. Pete Dunne wins a triple threat match and he is North American champion once again. That is what we love to see. Let's go, Pete. Adam Cole beats Tommaso Ciampa. I don't know why these guys are still having their feud. It's been going on for years at this point. Can you guys all just move up to main roster? I'm getting sick and tired of you. But anyway, Johnny Gargano wins back the NXT Championship, and Trent Seven and Tyler Bate are still the tag team champions. And now, very exhaustingly, I say we move on to the penultimate WrestleMania of this 5-year simulation. Cesaro is finally on a WrestleMania card. This is what I like to see. Okay, let's simulate. Oh, he lost. Okay, never mind. Better luck next time, Cesaro. Yeah. Anyway, The Miz goes on to win that. The Andre the Moment... Kofi won it again? I mean, okay, I guess this literally is Kofi Mania. If anything, rename the Battle Royal to the Kofi Mania Battle Royal, to be honest. Akira Tozawa loses to Noam Dar, who has just decided to randomly show up at WrestleMania. Okay, you big dafty. Anyway, yeah, whatever, I don't care about that guy. Rusev is back. He has not shown up once in this entire 4 year. He must have returned from AEW. Oh my god, is this a sign of things to come? Has AEW gone out of business? Oh no, the IWC is not happy about this scene. AEW is done and Rusev is back in WWE in 4 years, huh? Well, if that comes true, I'm clipping this and posting it on Twitter. If Twitter's still even a thing in a few years, but Kane, regardless of Rusev returning, is the Intercontinental Champion, so good for Kane. Cruiserweight title doesn't involve Tozawa, so I don't care. Nikki Bella has returned, but she loses to Sonya Deville. I love to see that. Samoa Joe has beaten Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Oh, that's a nice surprise. Go on, Ruby, do your thing. Raw Women's Champion, okay. Oh my god, it happened. I don't believe it. Charlotte Flair has finally been dethroned by Tegan Knox, who actually showed up for WrestleMania this year. I am shocked. She must have been injured last year then. This is a story and a half right here. But now, closing out this WrestleMania card, Aleister Black beats Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins loses the title to Drew McIntyre again, and Karrion Kross in the main event of WrestleMania loses to Roman Reigns. But at least Karrion Kross finally is, he had quite a glow up in the last couple of months, so I'll accept it. And now finally we have arrived at the final batch of NXT call-ups because we are in year 5 now of this universe mode simulation. So the first NXT call-up of year 5 is not only one man, it is 4. The Undisputed Era is heading to Monday Night Raw. In addition to Raw getting the Undisputed Era, they are also getting this creepy, definitely murdered someone bastard Dexter Lumis. And honestly, it is long overdue, but Rhea Ripley is getting the call up to SmackDown Live. Honestly, I can't believe we've got to year 5 and Rhea Ripley was still on NXT. That's a bit of a madness, to be fair. And also my bot on the fact that Bianca Belair has yet to get a call up. We're going to do a big call up for the last batch of call ups in this series, and Bianca Belair can go to SmackDown as well. And not only will Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair be moving up to main roster, but Io Shirai will also be joining them, except she is going to Monday Night Raw. And in case you thought we were stopping there, no, Tommaso Ciampa is also heading to main roster as well. And last but not least, Shayna Baszler is also heading to main roster. She will be on SmackDown. And now for the final time in this video, we are here at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view once again in year 5. Shinsuke beats Aleister Black. Dolph Ziggler beats Buddy Murphy, both former WWE champions right there. Bianca Belair, upon her main roster call-up, is Miss Money in the Bank. That is a massive W right there. Bianca just moved to SmackDown and now she's Miss Money in the Bank. Sonya Deville loses to Nikki Bella. Kurt Hawkins loses to Kushida, who is finally on a main roster card or like a pay-per-view or anything. Shelton Benjamin, massive dub over that genetic freak. Don't care about this because there's no Tozawa. Once again, Tyler Breeze and Fandango are still champions. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Seth Rollins loses to Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship. Kofi Kingston is once again WWE Champion after defeating Roman Reigns. Somehow Kofi could beat him, but Karrion Kross couldn't. I don't get it either. And in the main event, Samoa Joe is Mr. Money in the Bank. Wow, what a career for Samoa Joe. This is and Damian Priest is in there as well. I just noticed him there. And Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, my call-ups are, they're showing their faces now. This is what I like to see, but unfortunately, Samoa Joe gets the job done. He is now a former champion, Royal Rumble winner, and Mr. Money in the Bank. SummerSlam Year 5. Tommaso Ciampa is on the main roster card, but he loses to Seth Rollins. Dolph Ziggler wins the WWE Championship again from Kofi Kingston, ending Kofi Mania. Grand Metalik has now had an affair with Maurice. My God, Maurice, will you just choose one man and stick to him? What happened to Luke Gallows? Curtis Axel and Nia Jax, I don't even understand what the hell's going on over there. Jinder Mahal beats Apollo Crews. Kushida wins on the SummerSlam main card. That is what we love to see. Billy and Mickie James and Tegan, no, what? Okay, the SmackDown Women's Champion anyway. She still is, I think, anyway, the champion. And wow, the reign is over. The Good Brothers finally dethroned Tyler and Fandango. Big dub right there. Shinsuke wins the IC title from Kane. Again, don't care, there's no Tozawa. The Hardy Boys lose to Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Bobby Lashley loses to The Miz. Roman Reigns beats Elias. And in the main event, Adam Cole, baby, is the Universal Champion. Oh, this is most delightful. I love seeing this. Oh my God, if this happens in real life, this is gonna be mad. This guy's pinned Goldberg clean on pay-per-view and John Cena. Wow. Okay, Karrion Kross, I see you, big man. Yeah, there's always this random tag team match here. I mean, at least Dexter Lumis was on the winning side, so no one has to get murdered or anything tonight. The hookers are safe. Okay, Otis and Tucker are still around as a tag team. Somehow they haven't split up yet. Bray Wyatt beats Baron Corbin. Jimmy and Jay win the Raw Tag Team titles from Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Ali does not win the IC title from Shinsuke. And Rollins, wasn't he just in... Oh, no, wait, hang on, that was last pay-per-view. Okay, Rollins goes ahead and loses against Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is ever dominant. Kofi wins back the WWE Championship from Randy Orton, who won it from Dolph Ziggler? I think in the meantime, since we were at SummerSlam, I don't really remember what happened. Either way, Kofi is once again like a 5-time WWE champion now. And in the main event, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Tegan Knox, gets the job done for Team SmackDown. That is what I love to see right there. Look at the representation of NXT call-ups in this match as well. Damn. And as we sim towards NXT TakeOver Phoenix, we are now here at the point where we add in our final legend of this 5-year simulation episode. And I know what you're thinking. It's going to be someone huge, right, who you're adding in for the final legend on the final road to WrestleMania in a 5-year simulation. It's 2025. Who could possibly be a legend that's still wrestling at that time? Who could still be around doing his thing? Some of you might say that there's no chance in hell that this man will still be around wrestling. I say hold my beer, because none other than Vincent Kennedy McMahon is the final legend we're adding in for the final 3 months. That's right, I know what you're thinking. Deonte, have you lost your goddamn marbles? No, I haven't. I don't care what any of you say. Vince McMahon is almost on the invincible level of the Queen of England. Vince McMahon is almost on the invincible level of this man right here, who looks dead, but he is still going somehow. That is Vince McMahon right there. So, you know what? He's added in. He's decided, I've had enough of all these NXT call-ups stealing my spotlight. He's coming to roster himself. But anyway, here we are at the final NXT TakeOver Phoenix on the final road to WrestleMania. Pete Dunne retains the North American Championship. There's only 4 matches on this card, by the way, but you know they were bangers. So Toni Storm wins in her match. Oni Locke beats Mark Andrews, and Shane Thorne, aka Slapjack, is the NXT champion. It was at this moment that NXT knew they fucked up. Slapjack is officially NXT champion, and just like that, NXT is over. I don't care about this brand anymore. But one thing I'll tell you I do care about is the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, the final one of this 5-year simulation here in 2025, and Rowan and Daniel Bryan retain. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar's back. This guy took a few years to make an appearance on a pay-per-view. Jesus Christ, Lesnar. I added this guy in what, year 3 or year 4, and this guy has just only just appeared on a pay-per-view with Paul Heyman still in tow. He beats Chad Gable. Okay, good for you, Brock. A little late, but good for you. Heath Slater, he's got kids, he wins his match. The Women's Royal Rumble, we'll check the winner of those in a second. Ali finally wins the IC title. Indy Hartwell beats Nikki Cross on the main Royal Rumble card. Love to see that, that's awfully impressive. Bobby Lashley beats Cedric Alexander. Seth Rollins wins the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, oh my God, Kofi's a 6-time WWE champion. Wow, I think that's a 6-time WWE champion anyway. And who won the Royal Rumble? Oh Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course it's Brock. Whatever. Okay. He left it to the last minute, but he's finally... And speaking of course, Charlotte Flair wins the oh my god. And by the way, I was kind of close with Kofi as a 5-time WWE champion. Very good. And I know I joked about the end of NXT a second ago at Phoenix, but this is literally the last NXT pay-per-view of this 5-year simulation. Johnny Gargano loses to Oney Lorcan in a triple threat match with the champion there as well. Mark Andrews loses to Cassius Ohno. Trent Seven and Tyler Bate do not end the series or end the simulation with the championship belt. And neither does Pete Dunne. Wow, that hurts. No British Strong Style members have the titles, but that means they're about to get called up in year 6, doesn't it? And in the main event, Toni Storm is still the NXT Women's Champion. Oh my god, okay, this has been absolutely exhausting to simulate 5 years in universe mode. We are now here at the end, WrestleMania, the final card. Here we go. Bray Wyatt loses to Seth Rollins in the opening match. Rusev loses to Ali. Bianca Belair beats Liv Morgan. Zelina Vega beats Maurice, who is back with The Miz. Wow, what a plot twist. I guess they worked out their affair or whatever was going on. She is back. They are married once again. You'll love to see it. Sarah Logan is ending the series as Raw Women's Champion. I did not see that coming. Okay. Tamina loses to Ember Moore. What? You guys remember in like year 3 when I said my brain was turning to mush? I don't even know what it is now. It's dog food at this point. It is literally baby food. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm just here like... This has been a long video. It's been enjoyable, but this has been a long video. Ruby Riott has beat Alicia Fox. Dolph Ziggler beats Randy Orton. Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak, which has been going on forever. Nese ends the simulation as Cruiserweight Champion. Oh, this is a big one. Tommaso Ciampa, in his first year on main roster, has gone ahead and beat Drew McIntyre in one of the main events of WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. Massive dub for Tommaso Ciampa. Ricochet ends the series as United States Champion. Brock Lesnar has... It just had to end this way, didn't it? It just had to end this way. This is basically the end of Kofi's career in 5 years, and it ends like this. Disgusting. At least Charlotte Flair didn't win in the main event, and Lana's in the main event for some reason now, but at least Charlotte Flair didn't win, and I think we can all be happy about that. So shout out to Tegan Knox for winning, but that is where I'm going to wrap up that 5-year simulation in WWE 2K Universe mode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Sorry it was a bit more of a longer video, but there was a lot to simulate right there, a lot of pay-per-views, and a lot going on. But I really enjoyed making this video. It took me like 3 hours to record, by the way. I am exhausted. So if you did enjoy it, please go ahead for my sake and drop a massive like on it. It really does help out Samoa YouTuber a lot more than you think. And also, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the up and coming content on the channel. We'll definitely be doing more simulations like this in the future, so let me know what other simulations you want to see in WWE 2K Universe mode. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a rest of your day, and that's been it. Too sweet.